It's Classical Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about contrasting voices, making your bass and your accompaniment voices follow your melody, follow the lead of the melody, and especially, and I'll get into how I like to formulate the hierarchy with the three voices. Often we play in three voices in classical guitar. So to start, I'm going to use a two-voice piece that is like this. And in this example, I made a contrast between the melody, which is the lower voice, and the upper voice. Here is what it would sound like at the same dynamic. In this example, the upper voice is competing with the lower voice for melodic presence, and is a little less interesting, to put it frankly. So there you can see the beginnings of making contrast, how important it is to make a contrast between your voices, which simply boils down to playing one of them a little quieter. Like I've said before, you don't want to just try to pluck extremely hard for one voice. That can alter your tone and all that. You want to play very controlled and try to negate some of your inner voices a little bit to keep that nice tone balanced. So moving on to a three-voice piece, we're going to use this Giuliani study. In this case, we have a true three voices. We have our bass, our inner voice, and our melody. The way that I look to form this hierarchy is I make the melody the strongest voice, obviously, but again, not by necessarily trying to pluck it extremely hard, although I do physically play it a little louder than the others, but more than that, I try to take the other ones back. And I find that this is very effective with the middle voice, because negating it and playing it very, very quiet and very subtle just makes a nice touch. And the bass, I usually try to play almost level, but maybe a little less than the melody. If I were to play this with all the same dynamic, it would sound like this. You're still hearing the harmonies and the rhythms, but the dynamic contrast is non-existent, and that takes away from the beauty of the piece. So I find that really, really negating this inner voice, playing it just very subtly and very quietly, makes very nice contrast. So there you have it. Try to get that nice natural contrast in there, to where your melody will speak and your bass is providing that strong support harmonically, and your middle voices are also providing harmony, but just very, very subtly, where your listeners will kind of have to hone in and try to hear what is all the subtleties that you're playing. And it can happen, doesn't have to be a complex piece, it can happen in the simplest pieces. So, until next time.